Yo, it is good, yo. It's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, we are going to be talking about what I personally believe Season 8 of NBA 2K21 MyTEAM is off to a disastrous start, to say the least. Now, it's bigger than just one or two things. We've got a lot to talk about in this video today. But if something doesn't change very soon for 2K, it might be one of the longest seasons we have dealt with this entire year. Now, that's not to say the game's still not going to be pretty good, and I shouldn't say the game's good, but content still can be good, especially like Friday drops. But there's a couple of things. Yesterday, if you saw my video, obviously the thing talking about like when we get players that currently play in the NBA, they need to have their proper accessories. That's the first thing. But there's so much more within my team in general that I just think is a massive problem. So before we dive into this, if you are new to my channel and haven't yet, please consider smashing that subscribe button as we're on the road to 70,000 subscribers. So what I'm going to do first is we're going to go and look at all of the free cards that we've gotten this season, okay? So let's look at the season rewind reward cards that we've gotten. Each and every one of these cards have been free, and you've had to grind for each and every one of them. Olynyk, unusable. Otto Porter, unusable. Mason Plumlee, all these cards are unusable outside of Patrick Williams. He's decent, and when I say decent, he's not very good. But here's the problem. You give us these reward cards, but they all stink. I'm just going to use an Isaiah Roby, for example, okay? Isaiah Roby here, 84 3-ball, 84 speed. I mean, this card would have been bad in December, and yet you're releasing him now? Like, what is the point of releasing Isaiah Roby like this? Why can we not get an Isaiah Roby with 35 Hall of Famers, with the 93 ball, 90 speed, 90 lateral quickness? Nobody is still going to use him, but he'd at least be good for people who like Isaiah Roby. Like, these cards that we've gotten, these reward cards, have just been absolutely useless, and it's kind of limited the hype behind this season in general. 2K hyped up, logging in every single day for this card right here in Trae Young. Now, I know I went off with Trae Young in my gameplay, but the problem is every free card we've gotten this season has just been terrible. Our expectations have just been, they haven't even lived up to the expectations. This Trae Young is the same as this Trae Young. Literally the exact same card, which makes absolutely no sense if you're going to promote a free dark matter. Make them a little better. The other thing is this, guys. The Game of Rings was just a letdown. And not only that, we get Jusuf Nurkic as our dark matter free card that we're going to get. He's got 34 Hall of Fame badges. It's the middle of June. He's not even a top 30 center in the game right now, and you're promoting him as a free card that's the same as this card that came out nearly 2 months ago, who was a Season 6 reward. So it's just not making any sense. The rewards we are getting are just terrible. And it's just for the people who did grind. Let's say people used Damian Lillard because they wanted a Portland Trailblazers player. They played for a card they might have already had in this card. So it just doesn't make sense to me why the rewards are so bad. Why not make a Utah card with 35 Hall of Famers and 20 on gold and give him an 89 speed and an 89 lateral quickness? I'm not saying to make these cards the best cards in the game, but at least make these cards somewhat usable, because right now they're just not. These cards are not usable at all. And to kind of combine that with what I'm talking about, here's what I mean, guys. Here's the big thing that I'm talking about. Last season, we saw these cards in back-to-back days. Now, I'm not going to sit here and hype up Steve Nash as the best card in the game, but the dude had 50 Hall of Fame badges. He had 50 Hall of Fame badges on a just random day. We don't even get a card that was supposed to be hyped up, grinding for Nurkic with that many badges. We also got a free point guard Zion Williamson card. Like, they dropped all these cards for free that were incredible. And then we're talking about other reward cards that we saw last season. D'Lo, okay? 41 Hall of Famers. Is D'Lo great? Are a ton of people using him in Unlimited or in a comp setting? No. But he's fun for people who like D'Lo. Buddy Hield, another card that made him good enough that if you love Buddy Hield, you can use him. Christian Wood was actually pretty solid for his time. Again, he's not overpowered good. Christian Wood's not going to be as good as Giannis. Not going to be as good as a guy like Josh Smith, Boogie Cousins. But he's solid. Same thing here with TJ Warren. This card was incredible, but again, not the best shooting guard in the game. But they made him incredible, and you had to grind for him. So my thing is, if you were going to drop cards like this last season and make these cards free, and this was well, TJ Warren came out at the end of May. Nearly 3 weeks later, the free cards we're getting is this card with 35 total badges. Like, It just, I get it, guys. I get it that you have to grind maybe a little bit less, but why are we making these cards so bad? It just, to me, it doesn't make sense. It kind of just ruins the whole point of having free cards that people can grind for. I'm not asking for the free cards to be GOAT cards, but what I'm asking for is even this Reggie Jackson. You look at him, I mean, he's fine. Like, Reggie Jackson is at least serviceable. Is he good? No, but he's better than these cards we're getting on a daily basis. And that's the thing. If we could get daily content like a Reggie Jackson, or even like this Steve Nash, Zion that we saw last year, Dark Matter George Mikan, who is a reward card as well. Where are these types of cards this season? 51 Hall of Famers. How many people are using George Mikan? Is George Mikan a top center in the game? No, he's not. But the thing is, this card made people want to play the game. They made people want to grind their mode. Nobody is grinding for Utah, bro. Nobody is grinding for this new Utah card. This card stinks. This card, Richaun Holmes can't even shoot. He can't even run. He can't do anything on the basketball court. So I'm just kind of confused why 2K is dropping these cards. And I just think it's bad for the game in general and bad for the season. It just, in general, is not living up to what it should be. And I mean, even when we look at Kenny Walker, who was dropped nearly a month ago, this card is better than every card we've gotten today. I mean, maybe outside of the one card in Patrick Williams, that card was incredible. So it's like we got all these free cards last season, even the Luka card that we got, and even Rod Strickland. Like, we got these cards last season that at least stat and badge wise they were better, right? They were better than the free cards that we can grind for this season. Listen, just if these are the cards you want to give us, the free ones, just don't even give them to us. Don't even give us a Richaun Holmes like this. Don't even do it. Don't even bother. If this is the Trae Young you're gonna drop to us, 2K, don't even bother. There's no reason bothering dropping this Trae Young when the Galaxy Opal goes for 10,000 MT. There is no reason for it. Make the Trae Young a little bit better, improve him a little bit. And here's the thing. I haven't even really talked about this that much yet this video. The Game of Rings was so hyped up to get this card who is unusable. Are you kidding me, 2K? Are you kidding me? You hyped up this in Trae Young at the start of this season. 2K. I could get a better center and point guard combined for less than 2,000 MT than that duo. That's sad. That is so sad. The fact that this is the game we are playing, maybe 2,000 is gassing at 3,000, but this is the game we're playing, and 2K expects us to be happy with this Nurkic card. This is just terrible. This Nurkic card is terrible. This whole Game of Rings thing was terrible with no leaderboards. And right now the game is just with the free cards we're getting, it's bad. I'm not saying you have to give us free cards on a weekly basis. Like, giving us 3 cards on a weekly basis is fine, but make these 3 cards better. That's all I'm asking. Just make them a little bit better. Even if all of them were as good as Patrick Williams was, I would not complain. If every free card looked like Patrick Williams, who isn't even that good, he's got 26 Hall of Famers, but he's at least usable. So if you're a Patrick Williams fan, let's say you liked him at Florida State, let's say you're a big Chicago Bulls fan, he's usable in a competitive type setting, not a competitive, but unlimited type setting. If all of the free cards were like Patrick Williams, who isn't good, but he's usable, I'm fine. But the problem is when we get this Richaun Holmes. Why? What is the point of this card, 2K? I have a hard time grasping the concept behind what 2K is doing. It just, to me, doesn't make sense. It just kind of invalidates the fact that they're a free card and you have to grind for them. To me, that's the problem. The fact that people grinded Game of Rings was just a disaster. That thing in general was just a disaster. If we're going to put out these free cards for logging in every day, then make them okay. I mean, what are we getting? An Elvin Hayes card? So what I'm asking you, 2K, and hear me out, just make an Elvin Hayes with an 83 3-ball, a 93 speed, a 94 lateral quickness. Just make an Elvin Hayes like that. Nobody's going to use Elvin Hayes because he's still going to be below average. But for the people who don't play the game a lot, he's going to be okay. That's all I ask. I'm not asking for the cards to be the best cards in the game, but at least make the cards usable. Is that too much to ask for? Because here's the thing. Zion was usable. Steve Nash was usable. George Mikan was usable. And none of those cards had a great impact on the game. So all I'm asking, just ramp it up a little bit, 2K. For people who are no money spent, people who get on the game and are like the free cards, you don't have to make these cards as good as the OG Ananobis, as good as the Harrison Barnes of the set. Just make them usable. That's all I'm asking. Just make free cards usable. And especially with the Game of Rings player, there's no reason Nurkic doesn't have 50 plus Hall of Famers. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are down below in the comments. I was debating on whether to make this video or not, but it's like there needs to be something changing, because the last 2 weeks these reward cards and the season rewind sets have just been a disaster. So I don't know, maybe they got something bigger planned for these reward cards, but right now it's just not looking good. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.